Hello, I'm Greg Sadler, and I would like to tell you about a great new online class that I have coming up that you might want to check out and possibly enroll in. So it's titled Ancient Philosophers on Friendship, and it is a 10-week online synchronous class in the Study with Sadler Academy. Now, synchronous means that we will be meeting once a week for 90-minute class sessions on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Time. So you might want to check your time zone to see whether that will fit your schedule. We will be recording all of the class sessions as resources for the students that they get lifetime access to. You have the opportunity to not only hear me talk about the texts and thinkers that we're going to be reading, but to interact with me directly in the class sessions. And so why philosophers on friendship? Well, it's a really important topic, not only for us in the present, but in the ancient world. They felt this to be really central to making people happy, to having good lives, and there were all sorts of problems, questions, conundrums, paradoxes that arise within the framework of these intense personal relationships. So we are going to be looking at a representative spectrum of ideas from Platonists, Aristotelians, Stoics, eclectics, Epicureans, and others from the ancient period. Let me run you through what the planned curriculum is for each week. So in the first week, we're going to start out with Plato's dialogue, the Lysis, which is about friendship and goes through a lot of models and problems with friendship. We're also going to look briefly at Republic Book 1 and the notion of doing good to your friends and bad to your enemies. Then in weeks 2 and 3, we're going to be looking at, when we talk about philosophers on friendship, who comes to mind? Aristotle. Nicomachean Ethics, books 8 and 9, but we're also going to be looking at the Eudemian Ethics, and we'll tie it in with some other material that comes up within the Nicomachean Ethics earlier in it, and perhaps even in some of his other works. In week 4, we're going to be looking at the Epicurean tradition, starting with Epicurus himself. We'll delve into Lucretius as well, and we'll even get our first taste of Cicero with On the Ends, Book 1, in which the main character, Torquatus, is an Epicurean and is presenting their point of view on friendship and many other matters. In week 5, we're going to look at a dialogue that is explicitly about friendship. Cicero's classic De Amicitia, or On Friendship, raising all sorts of interesting problems, not only from the Greeks and Roman society, but things that apply to us in the present. In week 6, we're going to turn directly to the Stoics, and we're going to look at a number of Seneca's letters that deal with the topic of friendship. In week 7, we're going to come back to the Platonist tradition with the great Middle Platonist Plutarch, who has 2 very interesting works that we're going to look at: How to Tell a Flatterer from a Friend, and On Having Many Friends. In week 8, we're going to get our first taste of the Cynics with Dio Chrysostom and some of his discourses. Week 9, we come back to the Stoics with Epictetus, looking at passages within his discourses and the Enchiridion that are germane to friendship and other personal relationships. And we will finish up by looking at an author, and you might say, oh, this guy's not a philosopher. We're looking at Lucian of Samosata, who is, yes, a satirist and dialogue writer, but those tend to be about philosophy. So we'll be looking at 2 of his pieces, the Toxaris, or On Friendship, and the Parasite, where he argues that parasitism, sponging off of other people is indeed an art. And this ties in with Plutarch's flatterer friend thing. So you see, we get a great wide net that we're casting, and hopefully we'll catch a lot of great idea fish within it that then you can start applying within your own life. So all the important information you can find below in the video description. There's also a link to where you can find out more about the class, check out a few of the previews, and sign up if you want to. There are going to be a limited number of spots because we don't want to have, everybody and their brother proverbially in the class. We want to keep it nice and close and friendly, this study of friendship. But I hope that you'll consider joining me for this 10-week online class that you might actually really enjoy, perhaps even form some friendships within. And we're going to be looking at these great ancient philosophers and what they can tell us about all of these topics.